Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Nation. I'm your man, Rod Love. And for those of you who are looking around for the general, as you can see, the general is not here. The general is off on a special assignment. And, he's going to be victorious with his special assignments. But joining me tonight is none other than my other partner in crime, and that's none other than Doc Polite. How you doing tonight, brother?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Man, I meant to tell you this earlier. I saw that post from 2017 on your timeline, and I thought that was so beautiful.
Which post?
Of you and Reagan and Rihanna.
Oh,
when
okay,
they were little,
okay.
when they were babies, literally.
Yeah, man. And hey, look at them now.
Yeah. I mean, it's the wonder of, you just wait till you get to be a granddaddy. That's life changing.
Hey, let me go through this transformation slowly. let me get there at my own pace, Doc.
Hey, listen, it's a different look on your life. You're now seeing two sets of people that you impacted, that you created, and it's mind blowing.
They still blow my mind now.
Yeah, I got 8 grandkids, and I can't keep up. And they are busy, and I'm watching them live their little lives. Busy with after school, with school stuff. Little parties and stuff.
Now, let me ask you this: how true is it when we talk about, and people always telling you, enjoy it while it's right there in front of you because it'll go by so fast. Did you experience that too?
Oh yeah. And no more so than when Marley was born. That's my last grandchild, and I got to be there with my daughter and see her born. And it's I don't know, man. Grandchildren just transformative. They soften your heart. Not that I was a hard-hearted father, but seeing your grandkids and understanding that for a significant portion of their life, you won't be in it, but you have a chance to leave an impression of love and caring as a grandparent. So that's important.
Well,
I want them
just as a father and a what they call it, a girl's dad, so to speak. To see my oldest Rihanna, just turned 22 a week ago, and her sister be turning 18 in about another 15 days. Man, I tell you, them girls doing their thing, man. My oldest will be graduating nursing school with her RN in the next 6 months, and then her sister will be writing a new chapter in her life with going to school, going to college. So, hey, man, I'm proud of them, and man, we just rocking and rolling with them.
Yeah, and those are the things that any father or mother wants to see their kids reach a plateau that is high. Your son, to me, your son is the only man you want to see do better than you. Mm-hmm. And that I'm so proud of my son. It's things about me he's discovering now since he's a father and understands greatly. So it's rewarding, man. It's transformative, and I just looked at that picture of y'all, and I wonder how much you were prepared for. Did you know the pathway? And of course you didn't.
Well, Doc, come on. We had this conversation all the time. You got to go and learn how to drive a car before you get your license.
Right.
If you want to drive a semi truck, you got to go learn and get your CDL. Mm-hmm. Hey, if you want to get a firearm and get your concealed weapons permit, you got to go take the classes. There's no classes that prepares you
to be a dad or mom.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Doc, don't get me wrong. Anybody can be a father. Anybody can be a mother. That's biological.
But parenting.
Correct. But I pride myself on being dad. That's the title that I love.
Yeah.
And so Doc, I don't have to tell you, I listen to you when you talk about your kids. And we're not going to get into this mushy thing tonight on Let's Talk Nation. But we both proud dads.
Yeah, it definitely. And my kids are the reason that I got into advocacy. Advocate for young people and work with young people because I understood that the environment they would live in was bigger than just them. That what was around them would impact their life in some way. So I
Yeah.
wanted them to have, positive relationships and friends around them. So, they wouldn't, my kids couldn't tell you the first thing about gang banging, inner city, or none of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
they
hey,
they are they are
you right.
clueless because I wanted to shield them from that. I wanted them to be not that people who live in those communities are less than people. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is all kids should be afforded the opportunity of growing and maturing into who God wants them to be without all of the drama and negativity that comes in many environments.
Well,
I've seen I've
I've
seen
seen
and
the
dealt
body
with
of your
kids.
work,
Yeah,
brother, and you've done well. You've done
yeah.
well. Hey,
So,
Doc, I hate taking us to this place, but this Let's
yeah,
Talk Nation, man, we have
yeah,
to talk about it.
yeah,
And Doc, there was a tragedy that took place today, not unlike tragedies that we've seen before. But there was a tragedy that took place, man, in Madison, Wisconsin, at Abundant Life Christian School. And man, a teacher lost their life as well as another teenage student, while several other folk were injured in this. And the shooter, the alleged shooter, also took their life as well, man. So these are the kind of conversations, man, that we have to have on Let's Talk Nation. I mean, it's not something that we just embrace talking about, but we also have to talk about some of the unfortunate tragedies that take place too.
yeah. And my heart, of course, our hearts at Electoral Nation goes out to to this school, this city, the parents of everyone involved. I mean, you gotta it makes you pause, man. I mean, really, what's going on that our young people are so readily picking up guns?
It's a conversation, man, that we continue to have because unfortunately, I don't think, we're living in the real world. It's not a situation of if, it's a situation of when, these tragedies happen. I have to, kind of tilt my hat to law enforcement, and law enforcement in this situation, as reported, and again, we're getting our news from various news media, but Madison Police Chief Barnes reported that officers responded to the 911 call from the school, and as they arrived from their training center that was 3 miles away, the police did not discharge their weapon upon arrival, as the shooter was already deceased. And again, we continue to get multiple reports that are going out regarding the shooter, but all of this, Doc, as you well know, will be forthcoming in the days ahead, man. But again,
Yeah.
this is a sad situation.
And actually, so far this year, including this shooting, there's been 487 mass shootings. Now, what's crazy is last year there were 641 at this time.
Hey, Brother Jackson, the general, was here. He dives down into this, and Doc, he
Yeah.
just gave some numbers. And I guess what people would readily ask is, what's the solution? And I think some of the solutions, or what we see now, is hardening schools. Folk are talking about metal detectors and things of that nature at schools. I think we need to do all that we can.
Okay, but both you, I, and the general are gun owners, right?
Yeah.
What is it about a gun that's so enamoring in American culture? Why do you think that we are so gun conscious and gun focused in this country?
When you
Just
say that,
just
Doc,
from a personal perspective, I know we want to get into black,
but
but
put some meat
I'm a
on the bone.
ponderer.
Put some meat on the bone for that for me. When you say gun conscious, what do you?
Well, gun conscious. I mean, we think in terms of everybody should have a gun. If you're not a criminal and it's our right and nobody can take that right from us, and we are hard with it. We're just so determined to own guns in this country. Everybody.
But I think it goes both ways, Doc. You have,
Yeah.
Like me, you and Greg, I mean, we're gun owners, but you also have individuals who don't want guns around them. I mean, it goes both ways. And I mean, I don't know, Doc. I don't know what the answer or the solution or why we find ourselves in the situation that we're in. But I mean, the fact remains, Doc, we live in a country that people can have rights to carry firearms. I can't explain to you why people do what they do.
There are enough guns in America for every American to own how many guns?
I don't know. I know you got the answer to that.
14 apiece.
Hey, man.
That gun ownership it has a unique perspective on national defense. It is the biggest deterrent to other countries invading us. The fact that Americans own so many guns. It's not the military, it's not the nuclear weapons. It's the fact that Americans own so many guns and are willing to use them. Most of them have training. We're probably the most gun trained culture in the world when you think about it. So that's the plus side as far as national defense. You're not just going to come in and take our homeland. They say it would nearly be impossible for any nation to come in here.
Yeah, Doc, I'd be lying to you if I told you I had the solution to addressing these issues, man. I don't know, man. I mean, it's a sad commentary that we have to report on things like this. Doc, I don't know, but you know what? We do have a special treat. We have some young individuals in the studio that we're going to bring them in. They're very interested in facilitating their own podcast. So tonight we're going to throw them in the fire.
Oh, okay. We're going to see what they got.
Yeah, hey, and these are some young guys, man, that are on the amateur circuit, the golf circuit. One of them, it happens to be former Commissioner Victoria Siplin and former Senator Gary Siplin's son. So we're gonna hear what Josh has to say. And man, I tell you, just looking forward to these young folk coming into the Let's Talk Nation studio doing their thing. And Doc, they're gonna see a cool dude like yourself wearing your brim, man. Doc, how many brims do you have, man?
Oh, I probably got about 20. I think 27.
Hey, man, you can throw some on my way though. But Doc, hey, man,
and you know what's crazy? For 10 years, I had to wear a hat every day, military hat, and it drove
now you
me
do it
crazy.
At your leisure.
Yeah, and now I put them on without even thinking about it. So,
but Doc, hey man, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, man, and then we're gonna get these young folk in here, man, and let's see what they got to talk about tonight.
All right,
man. We'll be right back on Let's Talk Nation.
Daybreak iFix. Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, Jaguars and Porsche. Joe's Quality Auto Repair. I specialize in European cars. Daybreak iFix at Joe's European Quality Auto Repair. Located at 1240 State Road 436 in Altamont Springs. Daybreak iFix. Call me, mention Let's Talk Nation and bring your certified dealership repair quote. And I beat by 30%. Remember, Daybreak iFix. Call me at Joe's European Quality Auto Repair at 407-409-6040. Again, 407-409-6040. After Daybreak iFix. Joe's European Quality Auto Repair.
Joe's European Quality Auto Repair.
Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, Jaguars, and Porsche. Joe's Quality Auto Repair specializes in European cars. Joe's Quality Auto Repair is located at 1240 State Road, 436 in Altamont Springs. Stop paying a king's ransom for your foreign auto repairs. Call Joe's Quality Auto Repair, mention Let's Talk Nation, and he'll beat certified dealership repair quotes by 30%. Call Joe's Quality Auto Repair at 407-409-6040. Again, 407-409-6040 for the best affordable and guaranteed European auto repairs.
All righty.
Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk Nation. And as Doc and I told everybody, we have a special treat. I told y'all about Commissioner Victoria Siplin bringing in the crew, and we have the crew in the studio tonight. Commission, thank you for bringing the crew in, but I want you to do the introduction.
Well, tonight we have, of course, the one and only Joshua Sibley. Everybody, Orlando. And we also have Greg Odom, and you know Greg from Memphis. And then we have EJ Everett Whiteman Jr., and he is from Virginia.
Okay, so tell me, what do these three young men have in common? How do they know each other?
Well, they are all excellent golfers.
Well, I remember one that I used to beat, but he was like
Oh,
only like that was a long time ago, and I shouldn't even be bringing that up because if he takes me out there now, I see what he does to his opponents. But all right, I respect.
Yeah.
But hey, gentlemen, you guys all played at Howard, right? Okay, so Commissioner, we gotta drill down. These young men want to get into the podcasting, right?
Yes.
So this is it at a different level, and I'm not gonna say this is not at the Shannon Sharp level, but we're trying to get there. So, Commissioner, what has these young men been up to? And I want y'all to talk up too now.
Well, I think what's important, and they've graduated, and now they're working on being pros. And I think what they can offer, as it pertains to, you know, doing a podcast, is letting the young folks understand what it's like from their perspective,
Okay.
right? As adults, we can assume, right, what it's like to be a collegiate athlete, but they can actually tell the up and coming golfers that want to play collegiate golf what it's like. What's the pressure? What it's like being African American playing this game that is dominated by, you know, a certain race of people. So they can really tell you what they went through.
You know what I'm really interested in is this. I played college football. I know what it's like to have a schedule, to go keep up with class, travel, but I never knew it from a golf perspective. So, fellas, jump in. What is it like?
So being a college athlete, playing golf is a lot different than maybe football. Like I think for us, we're always traveling multiple tournaments, and our tournaments are 3 days, 4 days long, so we miss the school. Just have to have a good time management.
See, I didn't think about that. 3 or 4 days, but when we travel for football, we leave Friday, go play Saturday, and we back Saturday night.
Yeah, so we got to get there. We have practice rounds. We have 2 rounds. Some tournaments are 3 days. It just depends on which tournament it is, but yeah, we miss a lot of weeks in semester, and just trying to be able to time manage.
How do you focus on school with being gone 3-4 days out of the week?
Josh, tell them about your engineering.
You try to get as much done as you can before you go, or just try to communicate with your professors so they understand what you're doing. So that way you don't have to focus on school for those 4 or 3 days, and then you come back and it's got to be right back refocusing. So it's like focus, get off of it, and then come back to it.
Okay. See, you know what? I'm gonna throw this in because see, y'all being too serious. I know what it was like with the girls chasing me when I was playing football, but see, so the social life aspect of it, what is that like?
Great.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
What
it was different for me. I was locked down most of my
Hey, wait, for the audience that don't know what lockdown means, you got to break that down.
I mean, I was in a relationship most of my time at Howard. And then, now I'm in a relationship now as the pro, so it's a little different. But social life, you just got to balance. Got to get the grit and grind in with the golf, grit and grind in with the school, and then, you just got to have some fun on the side, but can't let that affect the goals.
Hey, Doc, did you hear that lockdown piece?
Yeah, I heard it. I heard you. I tell you what, you guys want to do a podcast, that's a lot to throw on top of, you know, what you're doing. But it is doable. But you gotta hustle at it, you know. Rod make it look easy because I taught him, but
but the other aspect, Doc, for these young folk that had that time and energy, a lot of people are making a living now, monetizing their platform.
It will be very easy for them to monetize what they're doing because, see, you got old guys like me and you sitting around doing this stuff that's not relatable to the audience that they can reach. They're gonna be able to get peers at the college level, young adult level, those who do the non glamour sports such as tennis and all of those people can be their audience because you know we get to see the athletes do podcasts at you know the football and basketball, but very few do it at the pro level for other sports. So that's
but Doc, here's the other part of what I would think that the young audience want to find out too. All of you graduated Howard, right? So what's the next step? Because all of you were out playing golf today too, right? Yep. Okay, who won, by the way? Okay, but how do you balance? You graduated, getting ready to go into the business world, and you're still playing golf at the what is it? Is it considered amateur level?
No, pro.
Turn
pro, and then so you finish school, turn pro, and then you have to go through a Q school. So
I've heard of Q school. Yeah.
So it's like stages, and it costs a lot of money. And I think that's one of the hard parts, trying to go pro.
You guys had a heck of a sponsor at Howard, and who was the sponsor? One of their key sponsors at Howard.
Their key sponsor and supporter is Stephen Curry, the all-time NBA three-point shooter. So.
And he plays. He plays too.
Yeah, he plays. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
He's the scratch golfer, they say.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't play golf, so I think that's the term.
Me either. I have no idea what the lexicon is. You know, I just found out. Matter of fact, I just found out what par was about 2 years ago.
oh, you way off the mark.
Yeah. So
I saw Greg and I saw Josh on TV. And you remember
the Southwest.
Yeah, and that was, I'm gonna tell you, it was incredible for me when I saw y'all playing. And I'm like, man, I know those kids. I mean, young men, and it was incredible for me to sit back and observing some of the shots that y'all were making out there. I'm like, man, that was the Tiger Woods moves. I mean, you came out the sand trap on one of those, and I think I sent a screenshot to you and your husband. But to see you guys doing your thing, and to know and to have been in the room with y'all, that was something for me that was an incredible experience. So what else has been incredible as y'all are going through your journey?
I think just the opportunities that Howard has given us, having Steph Curry support the team. I went to Hampton University first, and they actually had to cut the program due to COVID. So I mean, if it wasn't for Steph Curry, I might not be here right now.
Okay.
So I think just having those opportunities, it's just been great. Just want to keep giving back, and that was our idea for the podcast. You know, let kids listen to us. And
so, what are you guys gonna be talking about? That's the other piece that everybody.
Yeah. Why do y'all want to do a podcast?
Well, our goal is just to kind of show a different aspect of the world of golf to kids. I feel like some kids don't really get the full experience. And we want to be able to bring that to them. We want them to see both sides of being a pro, going on the road, what is it like to practice, what is it like going through college golf, experiences, what they can expect to encounter, and maybe get some tips for some people we have on the podcast, such as like Greg, who just won twice in the APGA Tour. EJ's won the APGA Tour. So get their insight on how they win, the ups and downs, and just try to help out as much as we can, because we wish we had something like that.
Yeah. So what kind of social media following do you guys have?
We're in the prototyping stage right now. We are hoping to launch ASAP. But right now, we are just trying to gather the resources and support that, because we don't want to just start it up and then fall down. You know?
And we're not gonna ask y'all for the name of your platform because that's something that you want to reserve and make sure. Don't blurt it out.
Yeah.
And then somebody you look up when you try to brand it, and somebody got it and they want to charge you $5,000 because they heard you say it on the show.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
so let me, since we're talking about podcasts, I'm gonna give you my expertise on this. Okay. The first thing I would tell someone launching that is that they need to create those social media channels. They are free. Get your following up to, you know, if each of you bring 10,000 followers, okay, and you're speaking to 10,000 followers, 1% will follow you, 1 to 2% will follow you over to your podcast. Okay, then you can make your content. Y'all should be taking notes. No, I'm just kidding, but you should be taking notes. But listen, yeah, but listen, now it opens up opportunities for you to monetize yourself. You can create your own community where they pay access. You can teach folks. You can do videos. Do something like what is it? A patron. You can have a patron pay to be a part of the community and monetize that. So right there, you got multiple streams of income coming in, trying to get endorsements for, you know, your podcast.
But the other thing too is, and this is the simplest piece to this, is be comfortable telling your story. I'm familiar with your story to a degree because I know you started out with Dr. Dorsey, telling that story. Man, you'd be amazed at how many other folk will be attracted to that. And I can remember the guy who Dr. Dorsey groomed as well, who became, what is it, the longest drive hitter?
Oh, Maurice Allen.
And he's won that competition a couple of times.
Yeah. And then I know, EJ, you were going to say something about the content. Like Josh was like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. I think like piggyback on what he said, like golf is a predominantly white male white sport, so to have us come on a podcast and be able to talk about our experiences and how to get recruited for golf, how to go to college, or what pro life is like, just to have a kid tune into our podcast, or a young high schooler, or anybody, just I think that's good and something that we didn't have growing up. So I think just giving back and just trying to help.
And a little bit of what you may want to, you know, experience doing is those products that y'all use on the golf course.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to give up a little to get a lot. And by having those conversations and talk about the products that you're using, and then after you talk about it enough, then you reach out to those local manufacturers. What's the one off of International Drive? The golf.
The PGA store.
PGA store, but it's
Superstore. Which one?
I can't remember the other golf store that is it off of Kirkman or Conroy?
Club Champion?
That might be it. But once you're using those products and you go there and say, hey, I want to be able to tell people that they can come to your shop and purchase this. You may not, you're not going to hit the home run, but they may start off easy and give you some of their products. Then as you continue and they see the advertisement is going the route that it needs to go, then that's when you start asking for those monetary sponsorships. So, by the way, what products are y'all hitting?
I play King Driver, Tigers Irons, Tigers Legends, Tigers Putting. I am exclusively Callaway at the moment.
Callaway?
Thank you to Stephen Curry.
Callaway? So let me ask y'all,
Callaway.
what is the reason why you're hitting the products? Is it more control? Because everybody hits it for different reasons.
Yeah. I mean, I changed to Callaway when I went to Howard, and it's just been something that I've been playing good with. I won with it, so you want to change when you start winning stuff. So.
That's a good one. So cavity back, non-cavity back, what?
We're experiencing it all. We got TCB right now. I had the MBs, which is muscle backs, different type of wedge grinds, everything. Like we just experimenting to find the right thing.
So what about the balls? More compressed, soft? You know what?
That's the same thing. Right now I'm testing 2 different balls out. One like Chrome Tour, then Chrome Tour X. They do different things. I know he plays like a bunch of balls and try to find out what he needs to do. And he's really So I mean, we all around, but we just try to get our perfect fit.
But see, those are the kind of conversations that your listening audience, especially young people who are either playing this sport or interested in it, they want to know everything. They want to know what you spotting your ball with.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention some of the guys that I play with, how they can also want to know the rules. I got one friend, when he spot his ball, we be looking at him and we can see he's spotting his ball like a foot from where his ball is at to get closer to the hole.
He's smart.
That's smart. Hey, it's supposed to be a gentleman's golf too. And now we don't play with them anymore. But gentlemen, I mean, you guys, you're what we're looking at for tomorrow. I mean, you're gonna be businessmen. You're also out there on that link in a area that you don't see a whole lot of us. And so, I don't know, I'll be asking y'all the questions about some of those hidden gems. What would you tell other young folk in terms of how to navigate this industry, how to navigate college, how to navigate once you graduate? You got so many steps to this thing. And Commissioner, I'm gonna say this to you, because I know you used to host, what was it?
The spring break.
Tell people about the spring break, because I mean, you used to do it big.
Yeah, so every year we would host the men and the women's golf team here in Orlando for sometimes 9 days, 11 days, depends on, the schedule. And we made sure that they really prepared for the upcoming season. So they were grinding. They were waking up in the morning like they would at a school, and they would do workouts.
How long were they here?
They were, like I said, they were here for 9 days,
9 days? Oh.
11 days, it depends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, but they would actually grind. I mean, they would wake up 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, they do workouts, and then they'll be at the golf course all day and come back, have dinner. They'll probably have lunch on the course. They'll probably pick breakfast up somewhere, but they would have dinner, and we gave them maybe 1 day off just to hang out at the pool. And then they went back, started the season, and then they brought home some jewelry.
Wow. Wow, impressive. Impressive. So fellas, talk about this course that you're charting right now. I mean, you're navigating your college graduates now. You're in the business world, but you're also focused on making it in the golf industry. What is that like? What does that look like?
It's a grind. It's tough. Like I was saying earlier, it's very expensive. So just trying to find sponsors and find people that will help us along the journey. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to work hard, use our resources, people that can help us get to where we want to be, and just put the work in.
When you say find sponsors, because I know, and Commissioner sitting over there on the end, she can tell you what it's like when she was running for office, having to set aside time each day to call people and individuals and businesses to support her campaign. When you talk about find sponsors, what's the process that you all are going through to do that?
For me, it's a little different. I have an agent now,
Oh, okay.
so I kind of get him to do most of the stuff. But we all know that good golf takes care of a lot of things, so we just try to play the best we can, and then hope for a better tomorrow.
Hey, so NIL doesn't apply to you all anymore, right?
Not no more. We look for bigger chicks.
Hey, for those of you who are not familiar with NIL, and I know we had an NIL expert on the show a few months ago, but that's name, image, and likeness that college athletes actually get paid. Back in my day, we didn't get paid anything, no attention.
And now they're high school
Oh.
athletes.
Okay.
They just passed.
Is that all over the country now?
No, I know it's in Florida.
Okay.
It's in
Okay.
Florida. High school athletes can now get NILs as well.
Here's a question that I have. When we see some of these professional athletes that, whether they're basketball, football, we talked about Stephon, do you guys see these individuals that are sponsoring athletes such as yourself that are going into the pros? I mean, do they do this? We see Michael Jordan sponsoring race cars, but are those athletes, are they sponsoring other athletes in the pro world?
I think they are.
I think it's becoming a new wave.
All right, I think they are.
Like if I get the show, so you're saying the athletes in the pro world are sponsoring?
Looking at, are they sponsoring other pros such as yourself. I mean, when I look at golf, I look at I can't remember who the player was, and they started talking about a rapper who was considering sponsoring this golfer. So is that happening in the golf world now?
I remember like a long time ago, Coach told us about I don't know if it was like Will Smith who sponsored what's his name? I think Tim O'Neill. He sponsored Tim O'Neill to go into the to the Q school. You know, Stephen Curry is kind of in a way sponsoring these guys. You know, getting them at the program and paying for them, but I don't think
he had Stackhouse too. I mean, he's supporting Stackhouse. Mariah, I think she played for Stanford, and so now she's a part of his organization as an ambassador. But I think he's supporting her because she's a female golfer. You know, so I think it happens, but you know, sometimes people want to remain anonymous and silent and just do their work. You know, they do what they do, but some people don't like the publicity. But if they know that there's a athlete, and I think if they want to support that athlete, they'll reach out. But I don't think not everybody wants to be known. What they, you know, sometimes you'll support an organization or you'll support somebody, and you just don't want the recognition because, you know.
Well, a lot of people don't want that recognition for some other obvious reasons, and that
people
is
start calling.
People start calling. Yeah. So fellas, what are some of the next moves for each one of you? Let me start at your end, Job. What's some of the next moves for you?
Well, right now I'm in my second semester of my COVID year, so I got the spring. Trying to get into the top 5 in the PGA rankings, collegiate rankings, so I can go on that tour. And I'm currently getting my MBA. Just recently got my mechanical engineering degree. So I'm just trying to play the best golf I can to give pro golf a shot right now.
Okay, all right.
For me, 2024 golf season just finished. Fell short at stage 2 of Q School, Corn Ferry PGA Tour. So now we're looking to a brighter future right now. Playing on the APGA most of my time of 2025 and do Q schools around like DP or PGA Tour America, and then also Corn Ferry Q Schools. But just trying to make a way, trying to make a living. You got to pay their rent somehow. And keep going.
Yeah, for me, same thing. Just didn't get the Q school this year. Just going back to the APGA tour. Fortunate enough, like Josh was talking about the APGA collegiate rankings being just graduated in May, so we were in the APGA collegiate rankings. So they kind of sponsor you, give you some money to travel, and they pay for you to play in their tour for the year. So that's what we'll be doing next year, starting 2025. And like you said, just done.
So how does that Q school work? I mean, is it a point in time where you graduate Q school?
So you just pay a fee, and there's pre-Q, first stage, second stage, final stage, and there's like what 70, 80. There's a bunch of people each stage.
Okay.
And there's multiple sites around the country. So you go through pre-Q, finish like top 30, and then you move on to first stage. So you go to first stage, and if you finish top 20 there, you go to second stage. So
okay.
Second. But the hard thing is, I mean, if you don't get through, you have to wait for the next year.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So then, if you don't do that, you just play mini tours or find a government tour, or you can try, he said DP, which is the European PGA tour pretty much, and then there's a Latin American tour. So there's plenty of options getting done. So.
Hey, you guys seem like you have that relationship because everybody's from somewhere else now, and I see how y'all are gelling together. How do you maintain these relationships? Because I will tell you, once I left school, the world opens up, and just as you mentioned, you got to pay that rent. Yeah. You got to figure out how to navigate. You're in the real world now. So how did you three manage to maintain something that's genuine and authentic, that relationship with each other?
I think for me, like, my coach is based in Orlando, so I was coming down to get a lesson. So I reached out to my guy Josh. I was like, hey, what are you doing for this time frame? Let's play some golf. I'll be down there for a lesson. So they're nice enough to let me come down, stay with them. And then we just got dragged in, come down, and we're going to West Palm Beach to get more practice.
Okay.
And just trying to compete and get better and achieve that. So,
y'all got Commissioner Sipling over there cooking, doing all that cooking.
Nah, I probably take it a different route. I feel like since we've been at Howard, we really formed a family. You know what I mean? We've been together for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So we really like brothers. We stay together most of our time there. We call her Mama Sip. She not just this shit, that's Mama Sip. So,
Mama Sip.
yeah, it's welcome home when we come down here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of easy to stay close to them. We always talk to each other day in and day out. So yeah, it's a family.
Yeah.
Little brother.
Brother.
Unfortunately, they still have my number, so they can't call. No, but like having people who are older than me who knew the game and were a little bit more experienced than me was always good. I always kind of wanted to learn as much as I could off them. So even now, I'm still calling them, trying to see that, you know, they're trying to get their tour cars. It's something I want to try to do. So I just try to get as much feedback and as much advice as I can from those guys. And so I, reach out to them, ask them how they're doing. And like Greg said, we stayed together in the same apartment for a couple of years, and we stayed good in touch, have good relationships. We traveled the world together, been to Mexico, been to California, been to Arizona, been everywhere around the world. So it's kind of hard to lose a good relationship when, you have to wake up and turn to the right and see him next to you, or in the bed, you're in a hotel room, and you see him that a couple weeks out the year. So it's kind of hard to just let that relationship go. But it's been good. It's been cool. Lots to learn from each other. So we push each other to get better. And I think that's why it's so healthy, is because we all want to be great. And so it's a lot of competitiveness within us. And so it's cool to have that healthy relationship.
You got some wisdom beyond your years, and you just don't know it. You just said something that I know your mom, I know your dad. I tell my daughters this. Man, if you want to continue to excel, you go and be around people who are trying to strive for greatness.
Yes.
And I see this, and I see the synergy between you guys. There's this ongoing joke that, I used to tell some of my friends. I used to say, hey, if you broke and I'm broke, I need to find me some new friends. But I'm looking at the standard that has been set. And you and your brother, I mean, you guys, I was able to beat y'all when y'all was this high. Now I can't do that anymore.
I don't remember it, but
I know you don't remember. We used to let you and your brother hit from the ladies' teeth. So if you want to go, yeah. But they only stood 4 feet high now. Now I see your drives, and I see them shots that y'all hitting out there, man. And I only wish that my game was even halfway there. I stopped playing again if my game was. But you guys are making us proud.
And then, Rod, you were saying how you tell your daughters to, you got to associate yourself with people who are going somewhere, who are, who can encourage you. But it comes from the Bible, and the Bible tells us that iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron, right. So
you got to have relationships where people who are around you are making you better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Bible.
They're making each other. I'm looking at this
iron.
iron.
Iron. Yep. Iron.
Yeah.
Because if you got plastic and trying to get that iron, it's
It
not
won't-
gonna work.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
The wood is not gonna work. You gotta get the same.
You're right. Iron sharpening iron.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Doc, to close us out, man, what's some of your thoughts?
Well, all that talent there. I just want to congratulate them. Really on being positive role models.
Yeah.
Because that's what I see right there. You guys may not know it, but one day you'll hear people whose lives you've impacted right now. And just keep your focus. You got a plan. Keep your focus. Continue to hone your skills, your golf skills, your social skills, and be prepared for the opportunities. And that's another key thing too. You got to be prepared for the opportunities as they come. Iron sharpens iron, but if you're not prepared to step into the opportunities when they come, then you're gonna miss out on things. It sounds like you're surrounded by a village that is promoting you and teaching you the right values. So again, congratulations, all you young men, for graduating from Howard. It's Howard, right? Everybody graduated Howard?
Yep,
that's good. See?
And these ballers in here, Doc. Hey, Doc mentioned always being prepared, and this is how we're going to close this out. You always got to be on your toes. And I'm going to ask go down this list and ask each one of you, give me about a minute of some words of wisdom that you would leave for young people like yourself. And I'm gonna start with you.
I think for me, I always say just work as hard as you can. Never give up. If you have a dream, just go for it. You know, don't let other people kind of steer you away. Just stay focused. Pick, like you said, pick good people to be around. People that make you better. Just try and be great every day.
Well, you setting the goals pretty high. I hate to be sitting right there, so now it's on you.
He's feeling everything, but yeah, stay the narrow path. I feel like this year and most of my years, it's been about sticking around the right people. I mean, when I was growing up, I used to hang around all the big kids. I used to be the youngest one in the group. I was the dumbest one in the group. So I wanted to learn as much as possible. So one day, you know, I can pass it along. And I feel like we did that here. EJ been battling for a while, and then, you know, even Josh tried to bring up the challenge with me last year. So. But we all about to meet at the same point, and we all want to get the PGA Tour card, so we all fighting together, and we're doing this together.
All right.
Just one, to keep God main in your life. That's important. Without Him, you wouldn't get very far. It wouldn't be nothing. So other than God, just don't try to take any shortcuts because they always take the longest. And then just be patient with yourself and be your best friend because everybody has different times. You know, I know you want things to work certain ways that you envision, but they might not, and that's okay. But you just got to keep being patient because you don't know what God has in store. And just try to surround yourself with annoying people like these guys to push you every day. And you'll be all right. You'll live long.
I like that. Commission, come on, close us out.
I think the young men have said it all.
Okay.
You know, they put God in their lives.
That's it.
I mean, that's where you start. That's your foundation right there. They talked about not giving up because it gets lonely sometimes when you have to face what man considers failure. And so you got to overcome that. You got to encourage yourself. So they've learned how to encourage themselves when, you know, it doesn't look like they're making the moves that they want to make, right, towards success or towards tour, but they encourage themselves, right? They're surrounding themselves with the right associates, right? So I think they have that package, and these boys, these young men will be okay.
They're gonna be all right.
Okay. And they have us.
You're right.
They have the village, and they know that. So I told them Mama Sip is always here for them, so they know that. You know, and so Joshua was like, "Oh, go ahead and go be with your other son." So EJ that the other day, I was like, "That's fine. Come on, EJ. Come sit on the couch. Let's talk." You know,
that's all right.
But they know
that's that village.
Yeah, and I told them, you know, Joshua knows this, that he can call me anytime I'm here, and Greg and EJ and some of the other players, they know if they need me, I'm here. So I think because I understand they can't do it by themselves. They need the support, right?
Well,
so
I've seen the support that you've given, and I tell you, just watching from afar has been exhaustive. You set up, I mean, and you feed people good.
I got that. Now that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna feed you.
but I tell you, your support and Senator Siplin, I mean, just been incredible. Real quick before we close out, does each of you have a social media platform?
Yeah, we all do.
Okay, so what's your handle? Let the audience know.
Yeah, my Instagram is just Everett Whiten Jr. Just on Instagram.
Everett, say it again. You gotta say it twice.
Everett Whiten Jr.
Okay, and that's Instagram. What's your platform?
My Instagram is glow.jr. So GLO.jr.
Okay, Josh.
My Instagram is just Joshua Sipler.
All right, hey, to our Let's Talk Nation audience, whether you are a individual, whether you're a business, whether even if it's one of those faith-based organizations, these young men, and they didn't rehearse this with me. Hey, if you want young men to come speak at your different organization, hey, for an honorarium, these guys will respond post-haste. So these are what we call our men of tomorrow. This is the future. And so, gentlemen, I want to thank you all for coming in. Commissioner, thank you for...
Yeah, thank you,
when
guys.
you told me these young men were interested in creating their own podcast, I told Doc Polite, we're going to throw them in the fire tonight. Hey, guys, you did an excellent job. and not much to it. Just be authentic.
Thank you.
Thank you
Hey,
very
you're
much.
very welcome. Doc, you got something to close us out with?
No. Tonight is a night of very few words for me.
Okay. Hey, well, Doc, we
I know
gonna
you're
close it out.
surprised.
We're gonna close it out with a real good Let's Talk Nation closeout. But gentlemen, you're always welcome here. And Commissioner Sibling, you know anything I can do to help, I will definitely be there. For those of you who are viewing this, this is Let's Talk Nation. Call up these young men, let them come speak to your groups. But more importantly, let them come speak to other young people that they can relate to. Until next week, join us on Let's Talk Nation from 7 to 8 p.m. And hey, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Y'all take care.